Hello and welcome back to making a 2D physics engine. Well, this is the life thing. I said something was gonna happen on my channel because of stuff. Is that gonna happen? Nope. You may never know what that thing is. Whatever. Here, that over there. Refresh this thing because the bug's out. Okay. Load up L1. So, away we go. Had to, computer bugged out a bit. Had to crash everything. Ended up being pretty busy yesterday, so never ended up doing anything. So what are we doing? We got this thing falling down onto that thing, and we got square collision, but the square collisions are going to be checking to see if the triangle collisions even need to happen. Technically yes, and technically no. They should be doing that, but should they be doing that? Because I could actually just continue on as if it was a square collision, because it's going to be the same sort of physics in how it rotates and all that sort of a junk, so I could just continue it with square physics as it currently is, and then have it use the triangles. Although I can also just use the... Why in the world is it so damn hot all of a sudden? Is that actually really warm right now, or is this just me? Where's my temperature thingy? I mean, that feels reasonably cold. Maybe it's humidity or something. I might have to go grab my fan. That's what temperature things say. Yeah, okay, it's just me. Phew. Whatever. So, yeah, I mean, if this happened, this cube would then fall off. It would pivot around the collision point of this one here. So how do I work that out? Before that, let's actually just make it do the triangle thing. Just because that's what I said I was going to do. So let's have it hit the triangle and then stop with the triangle collision. Where did my code go? Why are things crashing? Okay. 3 more relics to go. I've got to do the minimizations. Triangulation now. Trying to remember what I was doing before all of this stuff. Okay. So we needed to do the collision check thingy for that, check to see if it needs to do the triangle collision check. This is just what I'm running to make it stop. So once that is true, let's then do the triangle collision check. Okay, triangles. What the world would you be? Would you be at the top, the bottom? I'm assuming you're going to have something to do with triangle. But where in my code that's going to be, I do not know. I mean, it should be at the top somewhere. Wait, that was all the way up here? Okay. Sure. Am I just not seeing it? Okay, well, this was used in the Doom thing. Did the Doom thing use quads or tries? I'm assuming it used triangles. So I should have created a version for the GPU. So that, well, there should be one around here. Inside face, maybe? Okay. Now this one's taken as normal. Because of course it is. Oh, damn. For it to know if it's inside the triangle, it's gotta get the vertices in the correct order. Yeah. I'm assuming this is my triangle thing. Let me just go get my fan. Right back. This cable's a whole lot. No. Okay. Hello. Okay, so what else up to? Yeah. So that's just doing the inside edge thing to yeah, this is the simplified version of the triangle collisions thing in its most basic form, which could also be used for quads, but things that are lines in arbitrary angles to see if they're inside or outside. If it's inside all three, then you're inside the triangle, but again, that's going to take the normal into account. So how do I account for the normal? I feel like I need to do the get extreme to get the most whatever locations. I'll have a most right, a most left, a most right, a most left, and a most top. And then two, well, top, right, left, bottom, whatever. But it's a triangle, so how would that help me? Because it could be any sort of an orientation. I guess I could just go for the top right, top left, and bottom. What? I don't know. Okay. How do I do this? Is there a simpler way? Is there something I'm not thinking about? You have 3 points, 3 edges, 1 face. we need to know what? Okay, how do we do this without making it super complicated? So I could do something like at the middle of the three vertices, and that would give me the middle, which will definitely be inside of all edges, or inside of the triangle. And then I could just do the normal check. So is the point on the inside or the outside? And then also check is the middle on the inside or the outside. So telling me where the middle is would tell me which way is the inside and which way is the outside, because it will always be on the right side. And is the other one on the same side or not? And if all three are on the same side as the middle, then it must be inside the triangle. But that basically doubles the amount of stuff I need to do for the collision check. Okay. I can't really pre-calculate the normals, because an edge can have two faces, and that's two different directions it might have to go in. Or will it always have to go in? Okay, yeah. Is that a thing? I feel like that's a thing. What's screenshotty thing go? So if I have a triangle, and I have a triangle literally anywhere else around it, it will always be going whatever. So it would be going this way around the triangle. And then for this one to go the same way, it would have to be going in the opposite direction. It'll always be going in the opposite direction on the opposite side of the line. Okay. So what does this tell me? This tells me that I can get the normal of the line for the needs of the face collisions by just getting if it was the first or second face that is attached to that edge. Okay? So the first face will always be going clockwise. Or something. And the second one will be going anti-clockwise. No, what? I don't know. Okay. So I'm thinking when I create a triangle, I just assign a variable to tell it which order the vertices will need to go in for this face. But, I mean, it's either going to be going one way or the other one. So in this case, it's going from bottom to top, but in this one, it's going from top to bottom. So I guess I'm just going to make something rather for one or the other. I mean, it works, I guess. And that will just be dependent on the order the vertices are within the face, but which is the normal, and that will, I mean, all outside ones would be going around the same direction, so I guess technically, so if I always want the normal to be in the inside, then it would be the same for all faces. I could have all faces be the inside relative, all edges inside relative to their faces with the same number. Okay. Or position of stuff. Position of what? Hang on. Um, I mean, because that's how I got it going at the moment, is it's the order of the vertices stored within the edge. Gives you the normal. Yeah, I think I'm going to have an extra normal on top of that. Because that means I can't invert things. If I inverted something, that would then break nothing. Because it's always to the inside of a face. If this wasn't a face, then it would be a hole, and everything else would just continue like normal. Okay. Sure. Okay, so back to the question. How do I tell which way around the triangle needs to go? So I have a triangle, or more so I have 3 vertices. How do I make them go clockwise? As I said, like, you got a top one, and then you got a bottom one, a left one, and a right one. Most. Even if 2 are the same. So I could get a top left. Well, that's just giving me the bounding box. That would be like saying over here. Unless per same vert. So this location is the most left and the most bottom. The most right, the most bottom, the most top, and the most... I mean, could I just always go the most left, right? The most left bottom, and the most right bottom, and then the most top. Or top. Whatever. So if I had a triangle like that, no. Because the most top might be that one, and then the most bottom left would be most top, the most left, the most bottom. The most top, the most left, but then also possibly the most bottom, unless it's already been picked, in which case that one would then become the most bottom. Okay. So, the most top, the most left, and the most bottom after that. Whatever. So I guess that works? Okay, so how do I get this information? I believe getExtreme used to also return the indexes. Let's see if it still does that, or if I'm thinking well of the past. getExtreme. I mean, that is put into R. Okay. So, possibly? No. Unless it depends on the format. Weird how that returns something. Okay, just unknown. What is I? I is the index, D is the 1. 0 is the value, 1 is the index. Oh, okay. Yeah. So index 0 was both of those things. So if I go to that other example. Yeah. So we got the max values and the minimum values. That came from index 0, index 2, index 0, index 1. Wait, what? So the most x is 0? Oh, the least x is 0, the most x is 4, least y is 0, most y is 2, which came from indexes 0, 2, 0, 1. Okay. And because this will always just return, well, actually it returned all three, huh? So if I went in that case, so I don't know, what would that sort of shape be? So it'd have 0, 0, 0, and then just 1, 2, and then 0, 1 would be this shape. Okay. So if we're going for the most top one, that would be the most y. So that would be the least y, which would be this one. So that was index 0. So 1, 2, 3. Wait, that's wrong, isn't it? You are 2, and you are 3. Okay. I probably should say like 0, 1, 2, whatever. So in this case, 0 is the most top, which we can see is being the most top. So that would be 1. And then we're looking for the most left, so that would be x whatever, which is 0 in this case, which is already taken. So we ignore it, and then we go to the next one, which would be the most right, which would be 2. And then the only leftover one is 3. Wait, what? That's 3. Hang on. I'm confused myself. Hello. Let me just mute that so it's not double blooping. This is right. So most top one is 1. The most left one is 1, but 1's already taken, so ignore it. The most right one is 2, which in this case is... No, that's the... Did I draw this wrong? I drew this wrong. That's a problem. It's 4, 1. For some reason I was thinking 0, 1. What was I looking at? Don't know. So that'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put it over there. And that one would be 3. Wait, no. And then 1 down. So it'll be over here. Okay. Now again, we got the most top one is x in the lowest value because inverted. So we're starting. Hang on, y. So, oh my god. Every time I do stuff like this. So it's 0, which is the 1. So the first index, which is the first thing, which is index 0, is the most top one. Then we go for the most left one. The most left one is also 0. We ignore it. The most right one would be 2. 2 would be 3. So that would be the last one. The only one missing would be 1. So it must go 0, 1, and 2, and then back to 0 again. And that would have that going clockwise. Okay. I feel like I should just pretend like this is going to work with every situation rather than demoing it in every situation. Because this is going to take forever if I try to do that. I feel like it's going to work though. I don't know, I could just imaginarily do it rather than literally doing it. Okay. Make it look like a link. So the most top one is that one. The most left one is also that one, so ignore it. The most right one would be that one. So this would be this one, and back to the start. So that was the odd one out. Okay. So most top one most left one, and then the most right one. And that would be the same? Great. Yeah, so I feel like that's going to work in any situation. Most top one, most left one, most right one. And no, but yeah, so the only place where this could come up with some sort of a thing is a shape like that. Well, I mean, exaggerated a bit more. So where the top and the left are both the same. In which case we just ignore it. Cool. So whenever I generate a triangle, I will just run it through this thing to see see what order it goes in. And that will be the order the verts go in when creating the face. And if this is... let's just ignore normals. I don't think I ever will actually require a normal... like a proper normal thing. Because this tells me what is the inside. I could just look at any edge and see which is the inside to it. If it's an outside edge, it will only have one face attached to it, so that face would be the inside, as the normal tells it. Okay, hang on. Yes. Okay, so to invert the normal relative to two different connected faces, because one will have the normal on the inside of that inside, and the other one would have it on the other side, I would just change the order that the face is registered within the edge. So it's either going to be an index 1 or 2, or index 0 or 1, and 1 will just be inverted normal. Okay. Well, that then has the problem of what? Okay, no, it's not really a problem. It's more of a little bit of an annoyance, if anything. So if I had a face and I wanted to know what the normal of the edges were, I would have to loop through the faces that all edges belong to find out which index it was to figure out if I need to invert it or not. Rather than just looking at a number to say, is this inverted? So, it's just a little bit more complicated, but it means I also don't need to store that number. But it then also means I need to run extra code every single time I need to do that, so... yeah? But then if I was to have a number, there would have to be two numbers, and then I'd have the same problem again. Because it can't be just one number on every edge, because you'd need to know which face that is relative to. Okay, so... yeah. How did I do this on the Doom thing? I remember this being a thing on the Doom thing. Weird how you can spend literal months doing a project and then it's cleansed from your memories. Literal years of projects I just don't remember anymore. Did they help me? Have I learned? Am I better now? Or is it just as if it never happened? Oh, yeah, I need to do that thing I was just going on about. So, how do we do that? So, whenever we create a face, I'm not going to do it in the update mesh. I'll have to have a more complicated one. That was just for bounding boxes, so it's more update bounding box. But let's not worry about that. So we have edges being created, then we have a face being created. Okay, so when I create a face, I'll run it in there. What did I change in here? I don't know. Where am I at? New face. Face new. Okay, so this is adding the face to the edges. Before then, though, I need to know which way around it's going to go for what it's going to do. Which is actually a lot more simple? No. Yes, maybe. What? Okay. So the first one to be created, the first triangle, you just go into the first slot, but I have to order around the vertices correctly first. So we got to loop through the edges and see if they already contain a face. Or if they don't contain a face. If they don't contain a face, then we can just... hang on. We'll just run the code through normally first. Okay. So for E and edges, you know what, let's just go straight out and just say edge. That's U. For what am I doing? In edge equals edge dot. So the first thing we're going to do is separate out the verts and remove duplicates, because there's going to be 6 vertices according to the edges when there's only 3. What? Okay. If you felt like that, then sure. Let's hope that wasn't a problem. So we need to loop through the edges and then loop through the vertices within the edges. And then we need to say this, that, dot ID equals this. So that will remove duplicates. We'll just have our 3 original verts. Okay. And then we need to pass them through the getExtreme. All the locations of them. So there should be 3, let's just assume. This is an object. That means I gotta know IDs. Do I? Yeah, because I want to instance these back to where they were. Do I? No. I don't think I do. Yes, no. Maybe? Yeah. I have to do it this way because that's the way I need to remove doubles. So that means I need to convert this into an array. Or I could just use a function that I have for doing this. I mean, it's only 3 things. But then if it's only 3 things, I could be... No? Yeah, I have to do it this way. I can't really think of any other way to remove duplicates. Whatever. I mean, I can't just put 0 in here. 0, 1, 2. So hold. So I could say I have a function for this. Object array. So this treats the object as an array, and then I can just say 0. Which just loops through, grabs the first index, then loops through twice, whatever the second index is. Does this give me the index, or does this give me the actual thing? Alright, I posted a join. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Why do you seem to not exist? What? This is an easy one to scroll to. Object index? What? That's the array of index. No, that's what indexes does. Huh? Okay, no, that is returning the indexes. Wait, so what's the difference between these? They are the same function, okay. How did that happen? So what am I thinking about? Wait, that's that one again. So that's the one I'm thinking about. Why is there a duplicate of it? Who knows? How did I not notice that when writing all this all down? Whatever. I apparently just go away. There we go. So yeah, that is what I thought it was. But I could actually just use this one and... well, I mean, if I'm going to be doing that, I might as well just go straight up and convert it to an array. Whatever. I mean, it'll probably be... It's definitely more efficient in the long run. So... Hello. Hello. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. So object array. The array is, well, that's going to be this. This is the object. Now that's an array. Because this is an array, I can do with it what I want. 0. I don't know. He just joins and then disappears. I mean, he messaged, so maybe he's here looking. Hey, there he is. Usually he just joins and then doesn't do anything. Okay then. 0, 1, and 2. So that gets me the extremes. Let's call it ranges. Okay, now I need to get the top one. And new array order equals that. And how am I going to do that? I mean, I could just use an if, I guess. So, what about... I need to get the topmost one. So the topmost one is going to be ranges 0, 1. Hang on, what do you come out as? So ranges 0, 0? No, 1. Hang on. I want the y values, I want the lowest y value, and then I want to know what its index is. The index is 1, the value is 0. And this thing will be the first thing of order, so order.push. This will be the index of the verts. So that is the topmost vert. And then we want to bloopity bloop. We want to, with the topmost one, we now need to get the leftmost one, which is going to be x0, which is where the problem is. Okay, rather than doing this, let's put this thing directly into here. So that's the index that we want. And then we can just simply check to see if these two indexes are the same. So this would be x, the lowest x, and the index. And then we want the highest in the x and its index. And then we want to say... Actually, no, we can just ignore that one, can't we? These two will always be different. Will they? No. Hang on. So if I had something like terrible shape. Good enough. If I had something like that, the highest point is also the rightmost point. The left point is fine. Yeah, so the left and then the right point. So we have the top point, the left point. The rightmost point is the same as the top point. Okay, so we'll just do it this way then. There can be duplicates. Okay, so if order 0 is equal to order 1, then order 1 becomes what 0 and 2 aren't. Okay. How do I... What's the simple way of getting that? I can't just splice it out because that's going to change the indexing order. I really don't want to have to check, is it this or is it that? If so, go on to the next one. Is it this, is it that? That seems terrible as well. I mean, it's only a run once thing. What's it really matter? So... Wait, what's I doing? Yeah, so... I need to get the number that isn't either of those. What the world's that? Oh, kitty cat. She scared me. Oh, I felt the cat's tail on me. I thought there was a bug on me of some sort. About to kick it off. I always got to restrain myself in case it's so. So, yeah. What's an easy way of doing this? I mean, there is a way I could do it as an array, but it's bad. I don't know which one's the larger number, so I can't just... I mean, I guess I could find out. That seems like the easiest way of doing it, really, doesn't it? So, if... Sure, why not? Let's just get it working. If order 0 is greater than order 2, then... Oh, I don't have that as a thing. What is this? This is verts. These are indexes, so that doesn't work. Whatever. A is equal to an array of 0, 1, 2. I feel like I'm really overthinking this thing. That is that. And then I could say a dot splice order 0 and then order 2 and then order 1 will be equal to a 0. So that's the odd one out. Okay, sure, why not? I feel like there's definitely some errors in there. So now I gotta do the same thing if these two are the same. So just flip 2's to 1's. And 1's to 2's. So if order 0 and 2 are the same, then I need the number that isn't 0 and isn't 1 to become 2. If order 0 is greater than 1, then we remove 0 first, so we splice 0, and then we splice 1, and then 0 will be the odd one out, which becomes 2. Okay. So now... what do we do with this information? Oh god. So now I have the order that the 3 vertices go into, and then I need to go back into the edges and make the way that they are stored the right way around. Damn it. So I need to find out which ones have the right ones to flip. Well, looks like it's going to get more complicated. Okay. So we need to loop through the edges again. And I need to find the edge with vert 0 and 1 as its verts. Make sure they're the right order, the 1 and 2 and 2 and 0. Oh, that's painful. Yeah, I can't think of any shortcut way of doing that. Whatever. Yeah, for edge and whatever, verts and whatever. We need the verts part 2, so why not? Do I need to live through the verts? No, I just need the edges. So then I say, so we got the order now, and we say if sure, why not? If edge.verts 0.id is equal to let's swap around order now, I guess, because why not? For I in order I is equal to order I is equal to verts order I. Okay. I can use order directly. So if 0 is equal to order 0.id, or that is equal to order 1id, and that is equal to order 1id. Oh, this is real painful, isn't it? Is there a faster way I could do this? Probably is, with a loop of some sort. If 0 is 0 or 0 is 1, no, and, yeah, if 0 is 0 and 1 is 1, or 1 is 0 and 0 is 1, then then what do? We can't. Well, I mean, if 0 is 0 and 1 is 1, then the whole thing is fine, we can ignore it. We only care about it if it's the wrong way around. No. If it's the right way around, but then it already has a face, then we also need to do something. So this is going to be two different ifs. Else if so if 0 is 0 and 1 is 1, and this edge dot faces length is greater than 0. Greater than 1? Greater than 0? Yes, because you haven't been added yet. You could have one thing there. Then wait. This should never happen. They should never be in the correct order unless they aren't connected to anything yet. So if this was in the correct order, that means it wouldn't have any other faces belonging to it, so I wouldn't need to check that to flip them around or to change the order of stuff. Because if I tried to flip the order of the faces, and there wasn't any faces, then what would be in the first face? Because it would just have a second. That wouldn't work. Okay. So, if it's this, and it's that, and it's the wrong order, then it must have a second face. And this is the second face. Or it's a new face, it's the first face, and wait. So this would have to be the first face. It couldn't already have a second face. If we removed a face, we would have flipped the order. Okay. I've never coded anything like this before, although I've always had trouble with the normals, so generally just try to ignore them. Wait, didn't I do something like this once? No, I just had every face as a unique thing. That's right. That was when I used an indexing system, because then I can just flip the indexes around whichever way you want them to go. This is an instancing system, doesn't work the same. Oh, damn it, that means the indexing is simpler, in that one sense. For what? I'm trying to not have excess information stored within the mesh data that doesn't need to be there. But yeah, I don't know. I'll just... all of this is so I can find out what the inside of a triangle is. Because for triangle collisions, you need to know if something was inside the triangle or outside for whether or not it's collided or not. And yeah, so I need to know which way around the edges are for if it's on the inside of the edge or the outside of the edge, and to know that I'd have to have normal of the edge. But then an edge can belong to two different faces, and both of those faces would have inverted normals for what the inside of the face is. So every edge knows what faces it belongs to, and every face knows what edges belong to it. So every edge can only belong to up to two faces, and the order that it knows that those belong in is the order of the normal, the direction of the normal. So if the face is in index 0, then it knows the order is, the normal is 0, I guess. And if it's in index 1, then the normal is 1. And there you go. And the normal is based on the order of the vertices. Which one's in the first place and which one's in the second place. If you flipped around the vertices, it would be flipping around the normals. Or if you flipped around the face IDs, it would also be flipping, or the face indexes, it would also be flipping them. Yeah. Anyway. It seems like it works in my head, so I'm just going to pretend that it works. And we'll just get to problems when we get to problems. So what's up to? So yeah, if the ID was the wrong way around, then this would have to have been the second face, so I would have just been able to push it in just fine. Unless it's the first face, and by default the vertices are just in the wrong order. So flip them around, so yeah. So if it's that, and the edge dot faces length is greater than 0. Damn it, kitty cat. Okay. Yeah, it'd be a lot better if the cat wasn't constantly meowing and brushing against my leg. Just very lightly with the tail, so it feels like there's something crawling on me constantly. I just gotta give her some attention for a second. Just hold her next to her food and walk away. We're back. Back. What was I rambling about? So if the face length is greater than 0, then that means there's at least one thing there. If there's at least, is not, so is less than 1. So it has to have no length, but be in the wrong order. For the order to be wrong, it need to be flipped, so that equals that 1, and that, well, that 0 equals that 0, that 1 equals that 1. Okay, so that would be that. Everything's all good. Am I always just going to be pushing? I feel like I'm always just going to be pushing the faces. Yeah. Okay. So then I just need to do that with the other 2. So this becomes a 1. That becomes a 2. And that's a 2, and that's a 0. 1, 2. Whoops. 2, 0. And there we go. Now the normals should be correct, so we always know what the inside of a triangle is. Yeah. We're not worrying about deleting, because we're not deleting anything yet. Okay, so then everything will just be pushed. It's either going to be the wrong way around. It's either going to be the right way around, in which case it's fine. The right way around but already has an index, in which case it's still fine because it's going to become the second index and be inverted. Wait. If it's the right way around but it becomes the second index. I don't think it can ever be the right way around and be the second index. Okay. And if it's the wrong way around and the first index, then this happens. If it's the wrong way around and it's the second index, then it's fine. Because it would be inverting. Okay. Damn it, kitty cat. I'm not supposed to follow me back here. Is there any sort of a test I can do for this? Not really anything I'm willing to do. I'll just do a basic click test. So, assuming that's all fine, now we go back to the collision stuff. So we know the box collisions have collided. So now we need to check to see if the triangle collisions are colliding. So, did I delete something? No, I don't think I did. Let's put it before that one. So, for I in, well, it'll probably be face in object. Wait. It'll be the same amount regardless, whatever. Object, mesh, faces, because we need to check for every triangle in both. So I guess I gotta do that again for so face 1. I don't know why I've suddenly changed from A's and B's to zeros, 1s and 2s, but whatever. And collision mesh faces. If no, I guess this is the way it's going to have to be done for now. I can optimize it further by using the applying the click collision grid to every single face, but that means I've got to do further optimizations of the triangulation script thing to optimize face sizes to be as small as possible, even if it needs to add extra meshes. But then that's also going to be adding a whole lot more performance to updating on the click collision grid, so I really don't know what the limits of all this is going to be. You really don't want to have a big object moving around, that's all I know. Or lots of little ones. It's basically the area of an object. Yeah. You don't want to have a large area of objects moving around. I guess multiple smaller ones would be worse, because it adds a little extra to it. So, unless I did something like sub-boundaries, I guess I could do something like that. So if I triangulate a shape, I just triangulate it according to a grid. So I'll always put vertices in intersections with the grid. And then I could have a sub-intersection-y thingy with box collisions relative to that grid and rotation fanciness. And that way it only needs to check the collisions of triangles within the grid tiles which are overlapping rather than every single one of them. There we go. That's an optimization. Voxelize. So what am I checking? I guess if face 2 is in face 1, what are faces? What are collisions? What am I doing? Where were you at? Inside face. What is face? Face has verts, damn it. Okay. Another person join. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. So, face is assuming verts. Oh. And verts contain... But then that... What? I'm confused. I'm just passing the vertice locations through a manual thingy for the inside edge. Why am I doing this? Okay. I can do it without this matrix cube thingy now. Because I know about modulus. Huh. So I've just done all of this to get the correct order for the stuff, and then this thing just doesn't seem to really care about it, but it does still care about it. But in a way that's really annoying. Okay, so... that means I need... Oh, okay. Wait, what is face? This doesn't work. This won't work with this method. Okay. Duplicate. Inside try. Because I can't be bothered trying to spell triangle. Point. What was... Oh yeah, the point that it's checking to see if it's inside, and then the triangle. Oh, triangle. Never mind. There's a point inside of triangle. So the triangle will just be an array of the verts, and it's already going to be an array, so you don't have to worry about that. You can go away. I feel like this array matrixy thingy. I don't know why I just call it a matrix. It's probably better than modulus, because the modulus would have to check for every single one, where this is just that. So... I feel like I should call this points or something. It's just triangle, it's an array anyway. Boop. Boop. I should probably put triangle in here somewhere. Doesn't really care about normals, but normals are probably cared about in inside edge. Yeah. Which we are also not caring about, so I could simplify this. Well, it's just doing an extra if, I guess. But I could still simplify it, and that probably would be a good thing if I was going to be doing heavy physicsy stuff. Should I feel like that one should stay as it is, and I don't know why I feel like breaking tradition. That's what it would be called. I'm making it a total function thing. With it here, because why not? Boop. And inside equals function. And then I could just put that in there. Sure, why not? I don't care. So you don't have to care about this anymore. You will just be that. That will be you. You can go away. And now that is ever so slightly more optimized. Maybe. Okay. You don't care about normals anymore, so you can go away. Well, this is just an edge. An edge apparently requires locations. And an object, well, I guess it doesn't need that anymore, because it's only contained in the one thing. Okay. So then you could just be an array of this and that. Why dot locations? Okay. Chat seems to have bugged out a bit. Refresh. 6 people. The other one says 7. Okay, well that one bugged out. That's weird how my chat system works. Doesn't. I really should fix that one day. What am I doing? So now we should be able to do this. What is point? Point should just be a location, I assume. It doesn't ever really say. Yep, just an XY. So inside triangle. And point will be... Oh, damn it. This is faces. Okay, so that means I also need to separate the verts from the faces. So for verts 1 in face, oops, face 1 dot, no, I need to go to the edges. There. So, for edges, or edge in face 1 edges, edge equals blah edge, verts 1 equals an array, an object. Oh, of course I gotta do that. Whatever, let's not care about it, just get it working and then we can optimize later. Like I'm ever gonna optimize later. You're an object. And that now needs to say, I guess, just edge dot vert. Did I do this in a loop last time? Vert 0. I think I did, didn't I? Where was that? You were in here. Well, the poster join. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Yeah, I don't need to be looping through the verts. I know there is only 2 of them. That 0. That 0. No need doing a loop if you got less than 3 things going through it. 1. There we go. A little bit better. Okay. So that dot id equals, wait, what? That dot id and it equals this. And that is that. Except it's not. This would be that if the face was the first index, but if it's the second index, we've got to do this in the opposite order. And that should give me the order of the vertices. in a triangle that goes whatever direction I've set it to go in. I set it to go counterclockwise, didn't I? I don't know why. I think of things in counterclockwise, but then when I do things, I do it in clockwise. It's probably dyslexia. Wait, which one is it? That one that makes you see things backwards. Like, things are inverted in your memories. Whatever. It's dyslexia, isn't it? I don't know. So, if edge dot faces 0.id is equal to face 1.id, then we do this. Else we've either got a problem on a much deeper level, or this is backwards. Okay. So now I should have all of the vertices in the correct order for it to know which is the inside according to the normals, which are based on this order. For that one. So once I've done all of that, then I gotta say this equals obj to array. Now you're an array. There we go. Now I've got to do all this for the second one every single time it does this. This is the weird thing. I've got to be checking a whole lot of stuff, quite a lot. But hey, this is programming. It's modern computers are so unbelievably fast, you probably won't even notice it. So, what am I doing? Just change 1s to 2s. Guess that was the last one. 2, 2. And now you should be all good. I foresee many mistakes I've made throughout all of this, but, you know, that's programming. Okay. So, now... Wait, I don't care about the order of this one. But I do care about uniqueness. So I don't need this. Oh. Was I only doing that to one of these things last time? No, I was doing 0 and 1. I don't know why, but I think I only need to do it to one of them. I mean, technically, but not really. But possibly, but no. Really? Yeah. There could be a way that it doesn't. So no. Let's get rid of that. Get out of here. So... we loop through the second face's edges and get both of its vertices to add to this array, which will then be, well, object, which then overrides ones that are already there, so we have the unique ones and no duplicates. Then we convert that to an array so we can get it by index. And then we need to loop through that. Sure. I mean, I could just call it vert. For vert inverts 2. You then check for collisions. So point would be verts to vert, and the triangle is vert 1. I got like 50-50 chance that this triangle's inside out. Number of ways I can invert it if that happens. Okay. So if this is inside, then we have a collision. So log and break. Let's see what happens. Hello, person who just joined. Did you just join? Or is my chat just sort of lagging a whole lot? I didn't hear the bloop. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. And I broke it. Okay, now we have this fun lot of stuff to go through. What do you... Okay, well obviously a bracket and functions. Is that this or the other thing I was messing with? Damn it. You should be fine. You're fine. And you are the problem. What? Okay. Is that... Okay. What have I done here? There we are. Wait. Yep. Refresh. Next error. 148. Functions 1. That's pretty high up. Damn. 148. Bird of undefined, did you say? Bird is not defined. You are entirely correct about this. Because I removed that? I am confused. What are you? Why do you exist? Edge is edge, edge verts 0, 1. .id, job done. Okay. .179, ID of undefined. Okay, because no, we can't have an edge with only one vert, because that would just be a point. What's your problem? 179? Why wouldn't it be the other one? Okay, edge and face, edges, face, edges, edges, edge, edges, the edge, your edge verts 0, ID, it's the same thing. Where's the problem? I don't know. Apparently something doesn't exist in here, so what are you? You seem to be happy to exist. Both things seem to be existing. Again, 188. That's a little further down. That'd be in here. Okay. Was I just misreading the number? 179. 179. Whatever. Idea of undefined. So you are that. You've gone through the order and found the missing numbers supposedly. So I'm assuming order has the problem. Why you saw chaos order? Yeah, that shouldn't be undefined. What was it up here? Also undefined. Well, that's not good. What were you over here? Still undefined. Uh-huh. Water ranges. You're a thing. You're not really a thing. Okay. What is verts? Get there eventually. Uh-huh. You're not locations. Blam. Oh, goodbye. So everything seems to have passed now. We don't have the undefineds or anything. Oh, we've got two things with the same ID. These are looking weird. We have our ranges. That's so we've got a triangle. Just stop this. So negative 100 and positive 100, negative 100 and positive 100. That seems to be perfectly fine. Which the most top one would be 0 because it's the first one it checks. Oh well, it's because it literally says 0. The most right one is also 0, and the most left one is 1, so yep. And then what happens after that? Log. So ranges is fine, verts are fine. Ranges is fine. So then we have order there and order here, so that's supposed to be the one that fixes that extra 0 and should be turning it into what? A 2. So in this case, 0 and 1 are both the same. They are both 0. 0 is... Oh, we don't have a condition for if that's not a thing. Okay. Else. We just do the same thing, but in the opposite way. This is the same for both, so you can just be outside. And again, you're the same for both, so you could be all the way outside, but let's not. This would be a one or another, so I could put an else in here. And now everybody's leaving. Okay. So what am I doing? So order of 0 is greater than that, which it's not. They're both the same. Wait. Yeah, hang on. No. Yes. That's less than that, so yeah. So then I do this, but the other way around. So 2 goes first, because 2 is a 1. We can remove index 1 without altering index 0. But if we remove index 0, index 2 becomes index 1. And then we're removing nothing, because there's nothing in index 2. Okay. And we just do the same thing again. Else. We do that. 1 and 0. Job done. So now those two should be different. It's undefined, that's not good. So again, we got 2 zeros, so order 0 and order 1 are the same. Order 0 is not greater than that, else splice 2. 2 would be the number 1. So we're removing index. That's not how splices work. Get there eventually. One mistake at a time. Every error is one error closer to not having an error. Unless it doesn't give you an error and it still doesn't work, and then you're in trouble. Never complain about errors. They tell you what's wrong. Okay. So 0, 0, I have no clue why these are strings. And then 0, 2, 1, that seems to be correct. So 0, 1, 2, 0, 2, 1 would be in the correct direction. Why are you a string? Because it was... What were you up here? Did you return a string? Why did you return a string? Oh, no, this is all fine now, so it can all go away. Oops. Go to cream. Do. Because you are for iron. Okay. Could that cause problems? Probably, but probably not. Harskint. You can also take objects, I think. Wait, you can take single or multiple value. No, yeah. You just take arrays or an array within an array. Either way, it's ints, so that should be fine. I should fix that, although I'm not sure if that's the problem or not. Nope, didn't stop. Okay. So, I could have my normals backwards. Let's check that out. So, when I create the thing... Okay, maybe that's going to be a little bit more complicated. In that location, what about this one? I could just put the order of these. Okay. So, 1. Yep. Okay, well, how the world do I go about debugging this? Where's my candy? Ah, it smells so delicious. Nom 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 nom. Hello, person who joined. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Oh. Does that say I have viewing? Is that 8 or 6? Because it should be 7. Weird. This is way too chewy to be eaten on a stream. Nom nom nom. What's it doing? So where would the best place to debug this thing be? That's the question. What does this ever return? Is it ever a 1? Or any number? I mean, it should always really be 2 numbers? Or at least 1 number. Ah, so delicious. I didn't return anything. Okay, I didn't log anything. Is this running? No. Well, okay then. Here's your problem. Why isn't this running? There is no vertices in vert 2. There is no vertices, okay. I said this was going to have a lot of errors, but damn. So, supposedly we should have a collision. The collision should be an object that it's colliding with. Yep, mesh 2. We're checking mesh 1. This is mesh 1's updates. So, we should be able to see the faces within. Yep, face 0. It is looping is the point. And we did get verts out of that face, right? No, we did not. Okay, well, this is a fundamental mistake I've made here. How did I do this? So we have a face. The face has edges. We're looking for the edge and the edges. Face, edges, edge is edge, edge. Now we're looking for the... We're checking the benefits. Okay, so it's going to be one or the other of this. So the edge verts 0, because the edge should most definitely have verts. Unless it doesn't. Does the face not have edges? Okay. Why are you a 0? Ah, there we are. That's my problem. I didn't define what face 1 was. Okay. Now let's see what happens. Still nothing. That still never ran. I don't know what that's trying to log, but whatever. It helps if that's a string. So, what is this? Okay, we've got some content. Seems to be fine. These are all 0, 1, 2. Yep. Okay. And do you have the same problem? Yes, yes, you do. Now we should be checking for errors. Okay. So seems to be a problem. 5484 with already there. 54. What? 1516. Problem with the edges. The edges of this. Edge is an array. We want 0 and 1. This is an array which contains another array, but that should be fine. What in the world is this? Undefined, undefined. That's not good. What is this? What? Okay, so you seem to be literally a triangle. What did I give it? Oh, okay. Yeah, you're not base one, you're verts one. Close but no cigar. Inside is not a fun. You were quite happy running that just a second ago. Okay. Oh, because I also have that as the name of the thing. Inside check. Runs the first time, but not the second time. Okay. 294. Oh, what? Game. So that found an intersection? Okay. How many insides this inside of? 0. Yeah, 1516. You. So apparently you check 3 things. If inside is equal to 0, if inside is equal to 3, then return true. Yes, because it should always be inside in at least one direction. This point is inside of that one and inside of that one. Huh. I'm surprised I accounted for that. So if it was all outside, then it could have only been inside. Because there would be all overlapping areas. Okay. But that should have not done that. What are the locations I'm looking at? Oh, triangle. Okay, well, point's not right. That's that problem. But look. Why am I putting the whole whatever? Doop. Nope, that's still finding things. Interesting. Okay, now what are you? Uh-huh. Ah. One step at a time. So yeah, let's convert all of these to the locations, not the actual thing, so look. I could also run... No, never mind. Would it? I don't think it'd be any different. Alright, there we go. 5501. Not rate property 0 undefined. You didn't even log it this time. What are you? Undefined. Of course it's undefined. That's because I got double locations. Get out of here. Okay. Nope. Well, you're all locations now. Still not inside. Huh. So you're apparently still coming out with a 0. Ah, it's relative. Okay, nice to know that works if it's the same as well. I need to add on the median point to up, like, for the actual locations. So, plus face dot mid. Whatever. Face 0, mid 0, which means this is going to be 0s and 1s, because why not? Ones to 1. Zeros to 1s. You go here, and also over there. And you'll go here and over here. Nope. Did I make a mistake? But 0 is x plus face mid's x. 0 is y plus face mid y. 1's x plus x. 1's y plus y. And we inverted with the else, and that one's just the same as that one. What's going through here? It was already logging. 0 undefined, 274. Okay. Oh, face should be the face. Oh, do I? What? Huh. No. The face is I don't want the face, I want the meshes mid. That's the problem. That would also have been a 2. Collision meshes mid. There we go. Once more. Yay! Let's see it work. Okay, let's get rid of that white box so we can actually see what's going on underneath. Rendering, color. Let's just set it in here. Object, render? I put you somewhere now. So you're an actual, yeah, rendering color. Okay. Where'd you go? Still want to see the bounding box. Okay. I called that one object too, but I'll just call it object. There we go. Add a bit of spin. That, not so much. Okay, we're not accounting for rotations. It's always something. Oh god, how do we account for rotations? Well, this is where the Loc 2 comes in handy, isn't it? How was DLive going? Anybody viewing over there? Doesn't seem to be anybody viewing over DLive. Doesn't seem to be streaming though. Well, let's DLive. Alright. Yeah. Let me just open up the program. So, now we need a loc 2. Or a loc A. Good old classic loc A. Nom nom nom. So delicious. Okay. Okay. So loc A is its actual location, where loc is its relative location, not including rotation information and translations. So where does that go? How do so new vert loc and loc A, which will have not this in there, not an instance. It will be a uniques, because that one's going to get messed with all the time. In fact, you're just going to be straight up overridden every single time. I don't see any reason I would ever want... Damn it! I might do. Okay, let's allow instancing to be a possibility. I might want a parent to a vertice or something like that, which would require this thing to be instanciable from. And if I did that directly, then both of these numbers are literally the same thing. Anything I do to one would happen to the other, so that breaks that. But still allows me to instance it independently. Okay, that means I'm going to go to the box thing, where it does the box stuff for the box. Update mesh. I have collision check as a thing for the simple stuff, and then well, I'm all over the place. So when you do this, you get the pi root of the verts, and I want to be assigning this back to the actual vert itself as well. Okay. Okay. Okay is equal to this. And that A 0 is equal to okay 0 to allow for instancing. Okay. Vert. Did you just break something? And now with loc A being a thing, I could optimize the rendering by just telling it to render where loc A is. Wait. Is that including... No. Okay, so that's just the vert's location rotated around the origin point, which is the mid of the object. So, yeah, rendering. That means I don't need to account for that, which means I didn't need to do all this other random junk I did everywhere, because you are just simply this thing. Wait, what are you? So just shove an A onto there. Oh, fuck. Okay. No, you don't work like that. I'm gonna have to go through this one at a time. Okay. So was that first one? So that's unifying the verts and rendering the faces. Okay. Why don't you seem to be doing any rotations? Because that happens there. Okay. So that doesn't need to happen. A can just be A, which will be this instead of A again. Go away. Okay. Why do I say A? I mean, I think that was just Loc before. No. Could just be Loc A. Do I have a Loc? Oh, I do have a Loc A. Never mind. That's to the origin point, the middle of the object, mesh, whatever, and then offset for the vertices. Whatever. So at the very least, that should still be rendering the interior of the face correctly. Why is this over here? What did I just have to? I'm confused. Yep, that seemed to still line up. Okay. Let's do that for the rest of things. Again, you don't need to. Why do I have A and this? Because that was for a completely different thing. What is this? That's for offsetting along the change by the rotation and distance. So that should just be commented out. And you are that? Wait, what? Oh, just look at the same thing again. Oh, well, I'm confused. Why did everything go away? It's that one. Okay. Next one. So this is what that is. So you can go away. The point one becomes that A. Okay. And then it's just the same thing for this one. And the normal line should still be correct, which is the darker interior thingy. Oh, not quite. What mistake did I make? I didn't put an A. There we are. Well, at least we can see it is actually working. And again. Oh, wrong one. Works. Last one. Go away. There we go. Yep. Okay, so now with that all working and proven to be working and blah blah, what do we do? We now need to use A for the collision checking. So again, we just gotta switch looks with loc A. A is relative to rotation, but still, whatever. Including location, but still relative to the midpoint. Yep. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Uh-uh. Okay. Was there ever an initial recalculation for the first one, for the second one? Yes. Was there somewhere else with the location? Maybe? And because that was just the bounding box. We know the bounding box one works because we tried rotating it. Okay. What's missing? This is not relative to the midpoint. It is relative to rotations. Rotations were not being included in here. You should be what you are. Why is it not? Did I break it? Is there no way? Should be looking. So we got our numbers. They are all numbers. Okay, what exactly do these numbers display? The second lot of stuff, the array stuff, should be this one, so let's just try stabbing them in and see if it makes the same shape. Brendo. Nom nom nom. The way the grid changes size. I wonder if this will work. Nope. I can make it work by just adding an extra index to it. Whatever. That should probably still be faster, wouldn't it? You know, if I wasn't taking so long. Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. What if I... No. Okay, one at a time it is then. Bloop. Hello, post to join. Free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. You there. Wait, I copied the wrong one, didn't I? I should... whatever. You. Doop. Boop. That one. Boop. This one. That one. Different world coordinates. Goes down on my one, but goes up in Blender. Because I have positive y as down. And usually when I'm doing 3D stuff, positive x is away from you. That seems to be about right. Whoops. Yeah. That's supposed to be that shape? No, that's not right, is it? Is it right? No. This is tilted that way. Oh, it's inverted. That's the shape. Okay. Really surprised I've never needed to account for that before. I mean, gotta say, that looks like it's pretty much the same to me. If not literally, down to, you know, the whatever decimal place. Oh, this is so delicious. Okay. Well, where's the intersection point? Did I not include... No. Did I? Must have. No, never mind. It shouldn't be a frame delay, but that looks a little off to me. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Nope, that's supposed to be zeros. So apparently got all the way to there before it realized there was an intersection. Let's try catch it. So pretty much all of those should have been an intersection. Wait, what is this? 1528. I didn't get a donk sound when that person just left. 1528. Options. What? 15. What? 1528. Yeah. There we go. 1528. That should be that. That's how many's on the inside. Yeah, 2 is not a thing. 0 should be. So I'm getting 1s and 2s. But I ain't getting no 3s. There's the donk. Okay. What? Hang on. We know that this is definitely on the inside. So what if I just tried putting these through? Which I gotta do upside down because of this now. Just manually putting it through, see what it says. Where'd you go? It doesn't really matter. No, it does matter. I don't know. Maybe not. What am I looking for? That. No. That. Okay. So what is... Oh, that. I should probably start at the other side first. That. Do that. That. Do that. And that. And that. Hello, poster join. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Why has this confused me? I don't know. And the point of the intersection checking is this. So that. True. Oh yeah, because that was the one that triggered it. Duh. Okay, I could try moving this around. What if it was a little bit further down? Which, that's X, right? No, that's Y. X should be the same. True. Oh yeah? If I move that just a little bit outside, it should now be false with 2. Two undefined, or false, but whatever. Undefined is false. And then if I was to zoom in real close, hello poster joy, feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Real close with those decibels. This would be false. Uh-huh. Whoa, is that like snapping? Why is that snapping? Magnet get turned on? What's going on? It's also off-center. Huh. Weird. Never had that before. And this one should be true. Yes! Okay. So that's reasonably accurate. So, if that's correct, then why is it wrong? Lemma of a programmer. That is most very clearly an intersection. Yeah, I almost didn't even see there was any. Do I have to build the whole triangle again? So it never found an intersection. That one only was... How could that be a 1? What is terribly wrong here? I don't understand. This should be an obvious thing. Let's just have a look again before I go make a whole triangle again. Hello, poster join. I'm afraid to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. So we'll go through the face, and we separate out. We go through the face's edges, and then the edges vertices to separate out the duplicate vertices between all the edges, and also get the edges in the vertices in the correct order for the normals to understand what the middle of a triangle is. There's the 1s and 1s to 0s. If backwards, it's in. If the first face is this, then it's right. If it's not, then it's backwards. So I need to invert 1s are 1s, 0s are 0s. And we just loop through the second triangle's edges to get its vertices, removing the duplicates. We've got both of those. So now we have unique vertices from both triangles. And then we want 1 point at a time from this one to be checked against the interior of that one to see if it's inside. If it's inside, it's a collision. Okay. And then we log just to make sure. We check to see if this point is inside or outside of these 2 points to make a line, an edge. So it's on one side of the edge or the other. The rotation, how does this work again? So we get the rotation between the 2 edges, then we rotate the point to be relative to that. No, we rotate the edge so it's flat, and then rotate the point so it's either above or below it, and then we can just simply check to see if it's greater or less than. Okay. I can't imagine... Wait, when it does find an intersection, what happens? It said 0. Okay. That means everything's backwards, so let's just flip this. This is the easiest way to flip the normal. No. Flip this. No. Flip that. This is the easiest way to flip the normals. That hit too quick. So what I feel like going on... No, that wouldn't work with that one then. Well, it's hitting 3s this time. What I feel like's going on is the whole thing is mirrored. I don't know how that would have happened unless I don't know how that would have happened. And even if it was, I'm not sure that would even be an intersection. And that would have still hit, even if it was mirrored. I don't know what that was on about. Unless it's mirrored up and down? But again, how would I possibly put a negative anywhere? That one is just completely wrong. Unless... I'm not including the middle, am I? When doing the updating bounding box stuff. I mean, it is rendering where it's rendering, and that's not including it. I mean, that's adding it in afterwards, so it's not double as far as it's supposed to be. So it should be fine. Unless I'm not including a locate or something, which is the only other thing I can think of, but I've checked that multiple times. They're all locates. So 0's x plus x, 0's y plus y, 1's x plus x, 1's y plus y. That seems to be fine. Everything else was literally duplicated from that, except for the bottom one. They seem to be correct, so x, 0's x plus x, 0's y plus y, 1's x plus x, 1's y plus y. Collision mesh mid. You're all numbers, you're all correct. Okay, one more time. Let's build the triangle. That is an intersection. That said, it was only one part. One of these lines was on the inside. The point was only on the inside of one of the 3 lines. Should be impossible. Should always be within 2. So let's build a triangle. Boop. Boop. What? Really? You don't like spaces? Exactly 0. Wait. Zero? Interesting. Where is the middle? Okay, I'll check that next. Can do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's clearly a problem there. Oh, wait. It's looping through. Oh, that's how it can only be on one side, not the other two. Never mind. That's entirely possible. This goes 3 times, though, for each one of the things, so that's why I'm only seeing one. Wait. This is changing. Wait, no, it's not. Okay, never mind. So, this should be my other triangle. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, clearly a problem going on there. Do we have an instancing problem with the rotations? Because they look like the exact same shape to me. Yeah. But we can clearly see this one's being rendered like that. Ah. Huh? Huh. Huh? How do I do the rendering? Did I code this directly to the actual rendering? I guess I did. Yeah. No. Okay then. So, the way we see it should be the way it is. We shouldn't have instancing between the rotations, so one's one and the other one's the other one. It's the literal point of this function. To make instances where they should be and not where they aren't. Objects are objects. Am I putting the wrong object through the mesh update? Nope. 2 is 2 and object is object. We're updating the correct ones to the collision grid. What else am I looking at here? I don't know. What's the simple mistake I'm making? Everything seems to check out. Edge is edge. It's not using the same edge for both of these. I mean, that does seem like it would be what it's doing, though. If it was using the same edge from both of them and just offsetting them by the different midpoints, then that would be giving me this result. But edge is base 2. These are not the same, and it is being overridden. So I don't see how that could be a thing. Collision is collision instead of object mesh. You are you. How does that? What am I overlooking? Where's the obvious mistake? Ah! There it is. That. Ha. Boop. Boop. Yeah, there we go. That only took like an hour longer than it should have. Interesting. Also annoying, damn it. If I could do that. Ah. Okay. Let me just make a test for that because I overthought something. Or underthought, I don't know. Dunk. Let's have that other one not move around. So your X is the same. And let's give this other one a rotation by default. Before update mesh. Huh. Well, that was interesting. I mean, it showed the point, but I don't need to rotate it. So it looks like exactly on doesn't count for one of them, but it does for the other one. So yeah, that. So it's not counting an intersection for itself inside the other one. I, for some reason, assumed that one of the verts from the second one would always be inside of it if it intersected. Okay. So that means I got to do twice as many calculations. Hooray! All the merrier, I guess. So yeah, I have to check all of these points against those points, and all of these points against those points. Really? That's the way it appears to be. Okay. So I do need to do the whole extra complicated thing to get the normals in the right way. Okay. 2's to 1's, edges are edges, and collision mesh instead of object mesh. Yep. And I broke it, okay. Why are you phase 2? You're supposed to be first 2. I'm surprised that didn't look really glitchy and buggy, but okay. Actually, I'm more disappointed that didn't glitch out. Interesting. Because you are too. Nope. Where else have I messed up? So phase 2 is correct now. Edge and phase 2 edges. Edge is edge. Phase 2 ID is what we're looking for the order of the junk. Do I want it to be backwards for some reason? I don't think so. Oh, I'm not looping it. Okay. I don't know why, but I feel like there's going to be a duplicate for some reason whenever I do stuff like that. Tools to buttons. I feel like I should add that the other way around, but whatever. B, A. There we are. And hit the B one. Great. Why? There we go. Boop. 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 I can offset that back to the side again. How do I? What was I? You. Oh. Okay. That all seems to be going great. Well, there we go. I got triangle collisions. Now I got to do the physics part of a physics engine. Hooray. So, is the chat thing bugged out again? Yeah, it says there's 6 people, but there's only 4. Refresh. I sort of want to leave if that gets below 3, because that will bump down my average. I'm trying to get that average of 3 viewers on Twitch. And also I need to go to the shops. I'm out of water. So what do I do next? Now that we get rid of the logs, that's what I was doing. Where have I got all these logs? I got a ton of logs over here, so let's get rid of them. Oh, a ton isn't 2. And then I got the logs over here that are also breaking it, but those are fine, I guess. Is that all the logs? Mm-hmm. Well, I broke my debug system, didn't I? Yeah, I gotta fix that. Because that will be the next lot of stuff, is what sort of a performance does this take? Let's see it on my nice little graph. I don't care at the moment. Okay, so yeah, the physics part of a physics thing. So I need them to collide and for stuff to happen. Okay. What? Oh, I want to visualize the center point first. Rendering. Render. Mesh stuff. I guess I'll have that happen at the end. So. Just do the same as that. Okay. Mid. And you are to mesh mid. Okay. Plus loc. Locate. Zero. 1. Okay, that ain't right. No, because it is that. Ah, well, it is that. Never mind. You are literally just loc 1. Oh, loc A. There we go. So that's what my center of mass is going to be, because that is what it wants to be. Okay. Sure, why not? I don't feel like that would be the center of the mass of the triangle, but how were you supposed to work that out then? Because that's just adding up 3 locations and dividing by whatever gives me there, divided by 3. Okay. Interesting. Sure. Whatever. So, yeah, physics. How do I do that? So when it drop like this, it should then hit that corner on there, then rotate, and then this corner will be hitting, and then it still rotates as it falls off the edge. How do I math that? I probably should actually read a thing on this. Like, I like to do it on my own, but... Oh, what am I going on about? Wow. That almost hurt to say. Whoa. Okay, let's not do that. Oh my god. I felt like I wasn't me for a second there. It's my whole thing, I make things on my own. No googling. Unless I'm really stuck. Which I don't feel like I am. That was laziness. Let's not do things out of laziness. So what was I doing? So how do I work out how the math's gonna math? So it's falling down. It hits there. What happens? Oh wait, I got a lot of other stuff I need to do too, damn it. This is only basic collisions. I need to do the advanced stuff now. The advanced of the simple things. This only works because that object is static. If the other object was moving... Well, I mean, no. We need to find the intersection location. The literal point where both things will intersect. And then I need to have that with 2 moving objects. And I need to have it over the path that it moved in, not just where it was going to end up. Damn it. Okay. Okay. I like the idea of an interior grid within the object for collision optimizations. I think that would actually optimize it quite a lot. Ow! As long as it wasn't too big of an object. But then I could optimize that again. So if I had relative grids within the object that rotated with the object, and the grid would know what edges it was below, then I would just need to check the point, rotate the point relative to the grid, check to see its XY location rounded for what tile it's on, and then what edges it's within. I could actually pre-calculate all of those tiles to know if they were inside or outside of the object. So if it was on one that was on the inside, and was also one that was not entirely on the inside, how would it know? I don't know. Triangles. Then it could just check the relevant edges to know if it was a collision, so that would optimize it a whole lot, I guess. It doesn't have to just blindly check every single one, or blindly check every one within an area. It just needs to check the literal ones, other than the run once thing of creating the grid in the first place. Which means live editing is a little bit more complicated, but it would only run a little bit worse than if it was constantly running, which it would be otherwise. So, I don't know. Anyway, rotations. So the center of the mass is over there. You had a collision over here. This is pushing up with the force. That force that is pushing up with is equal to the amount of force this was going down with. assuming this one wasn't moving. Otherwise, it would only be a percentage of that, because some of the energy got absorbed by the other one. So, yeah. Then I gotta figure out how much of that energy gets turned into rotational energy because it was not pushing directly through the median point, the middle center of mass. But how do I work that out? So the way I was doing it before, I think, is I was just getting the angle to this, which was a whole other complication if it was on the left or the right side of it. Which I now see is actually quite a much simpler thing to possibly figure out. Yeah. And like 0 rotation, like straight through with the direction of the energy, so the energy would be pushing straight up, which would just be straight up. And if it was straight up through the middle of this and it wasn't offset, then 100% of that energy would be going to translation to just push the thing up. In other words, it would just sit flat. Unless bounce. Yeah. Because when I don't know. It actually would bounce up, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'll have to figure that out as well. How much the energy, because technically the energy would be getting absorbed by the ground if it didn't bounce. In which case, if 100% of the energy was being absorbed, then 50% of the energy is not. Because it's not getting pushed through it. How does that work then? If you push through something, how much energy is it absorbing compared to if you pushed against something? I mean, I guess it's absorbing the same amount of energy. It's just too much energy for it, so it has to, like, it's 100% of what it can. I don't know. Because it's got to negate being pushed away, pushed through, which means 50% has to be returned back, so it stands still rather than going through or being pushed up. If it's more than 50%, it gets pushed away. If it's less, it gets pushed through. Anyway, so some percentage of that is getting turned into rotation. And that's like at 90 degrees. If it was it was being pushed 90 degrees from the center of mass, then 100% of it would be turned into rotation energy. You could never have it any further than 90 degrees. That's what I was originally doing with my last time I tried to do this project. So I don't know if that's correct or not in the real world. I feel like it is. And then you have leverage and things. How does that work? Like if you were pushing on the very edge and it was a distance away, like, because you could be pushing 90 degrees directly away from this, and you would be pushing it forwards because of conservation of energy. Okay. The object in rest wants to stay at rest, and motion in motion. So if you pushed against it, since it didn't have any rotation already, it wouldn't be gaining as much. So it would be pushing it away, and then it would start like rotating over time as you continue to apply pressure in the same place, the same angle. So how does that come into things? So leverage would just be how much of it gets, how much of the in rest gets overpowered, I imagine. The more the leverage, the more of the in rest you can overpower to apply directly into rotation. But then the less it rotates? No. What? Hang on, the other way around. Wait. It just multiplies your energy? But halves the time, I guess? Divides the time? Maybe that's how that works, I don't know. I'm derping. I've gone too deep. The ramble has got me. I've got 4 viewers apparently. Although that is my chat, like that could be including chatbots. Such as the one with literally chat in its name. Are you a chatbot? If you are, then I think I will stop rambling and actually try to research stuff. Oh, hello. Well, that pushed up the average, never mind. Well, post to join, feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. Just trying to figure out how to do the physics part of a physics engine. Where should I start? Because last time I just went all out in this and just did whatever the first thing came to mind was, and spent like a couple of weeks just like coding in the dark basically, and then recoding and recoding and recoding, and then every time the entire thing was just flawed from the start. So yeah. Nom nom nom. Okay, let's not worry about rotations. How about just making it so I can bump it in and without it killing the game? And I could do my fun thing of having it on a piece of string and like bumping it in. That's what I was doing last time. I could. For a donation. Never actually played Flappy Bird, I don't think. Maybe it's a real dead simple project to do. You know, as long as you don't include things like main menus as part of it. Oh, hello, other person. Nope. No frameworks other than my own. I've coded every single line of all my stuff entirely from scratch. Which this doesn't show off a fraction of what it can do. Whoop. Dodge the collisions. I can random that for hours. How my API thing works. How my code works. Yeah. It's a lot of stuff. But I've got everything in here. This is like I could do everything from like a 2D racing game, 3D game engine, which just displays stuff, doesn't have physics or anything yet. Or, you know, Myst. I built a Myst engine at one point, all that's in here somewhere, which is technically part of my 3D game engine. And so on. It's like 6,000 lines. More than many things. Loading systems, viewport systems, GPU stuff, CPU stuff, multi-threaded, single-threaded. Yeah, I don't use other people's code. What was I ranting on about again? Oh yeah. So what was that one? Let's make it so I can hang this from a piece of string. That was just a fun thing to do last time. I can't think of anything else to really do other than stuff I don't understand enough yet, so unless I'm going to rant about that for the next hour, let's just do this. So what do I want to do? Let's get rid of the second object. Minimize all this junk. Second object, you no longer exist. So it shouldn't have collisions. Great. Okay, first object. Let's, what? Didn't you have an extra thing here? Did I put that? Where'd it go? Pick update. Okay, no, everything's in here. Oh wait, collision stuff. So let's have you plus equals that. Whoa. That seems a little fast for some reason. What my frame rate is. Okay, whatever. I'll just fall down forever, faster and faster. Okay, so we've got a vector thingy. The vector thingy is going. We want to have a piece of string. For that to work, we need to know if it is a distance away. Let's just put it at the top here. Oops. String. So, I need to know where it is and where the mouse is. So, if, and because it's a mesh object, we need to go from the mid. So if object dot mesh dot mid. Wait, what am I doing? Get distance from the middle of the object to the mouse world. Now, does that still have a problem, or did I finally get around to fixing that damn world location being wrong? You'll be whenever the mouse moves. Mouse move. Do I divide or do I times? I think it's divided with this one because for whatever reason that's backwards to everything else that ever needs the camera zoom. So I think that should be fine. So if that is ever greater than, I don't know, how big's the tile? How big's the object? The object is 100, so this thing's going to be like, I don't know, I'd say like 400. So if that's ever greater than 400, then just break so I can see that's actually happening. Well, of course, you're instantly going to break because it starts assuming it's over there. Never mind. We want to ignore this if the mouse world is 0, 0. No, because your screen's 0. I don't know where you would be. Whatever. See mouse loc 0 is equal to 0, and if that is equal to 0, and just hacky ways to do it, whatever. 1 is equal to 0, that should be its default location, then don't. So if that is not equal to 0, and this is not equal to 0, then we continue. Damn it, I'll get more views again. I'm gonna continue going. So, is that actually right? It says 7. Is it 7? Apparently it's 7. The name really does make a difference. Months I've been streaming with barely a view. Now look at me. Room full of bots. Okay, so if that's not equal to 0 and that's not equal to 0, no? Yeah. If they're both not equal to 0 because it should be 0, 0 by default, then we can go, so that means I should be able to... Okay, that is actually a little further away than I was expecting. That seemed a little too far away. Maybe it just it didn't register the mouse. There we are. Okay. What am I doing? Maybe, I don't know, do I want to do that? You know what, let's just forget about that. It just means it's going to jump to the side on the first frame. So if that is greater than that, then we want to know by how much. So this is equal to that. Okay, so if that is greater than that, then this minus, no, 400 minus the distance, no, distance minus 400 should give me the distance away it is, and I need to, what do I do with that? I put that back into the vector? Okay. So I need to get the direction that is as well. So rot equals rot from here to there, and then change equals change this, rotation is that, distance is that, and then I just reapply this to the vector. Plus equals change 0, and this is either going to make it go the opposite direction that it should be going, or it's going to then bounce around like a ping pong ball and get faster and faster until it just explodes or something, I don't know. So I should probably do some sort of a Browning effect to the vector. Should probably apply that first. So vector 0, how do we do this again? Divided by 99? 9? What? Hang on. 0.9. Damn it. Let's just say 0.9. It works. Well, divided by equals. So it's 1% less vector than the previous frame for the Browning effect. Woo! Yep. So it does go in the right direction, but it's accelerating somewhat. Okay. How do I get it to not? So if it was just dropping down, and it went down by too far outside of the range of the string, it would then move up to where the range... It would add the... I need 2 equals. Maybe. Did I break it? Apparently I broke it. Interesting. Okay, that's nice. Now let's add some rotation into this, so it goes to the bottom, or pendulum sort of effect. Interesting how it vibrates like that. So that would be if it was pushing away, it needs to go at a 90-degree angle from where it's going. Okay, how does that 90-degree angle thing work? That's my drawing thing. No. So if you had the thing, and then whatever to a pendulum-y sort of a thing, so it would want to go at a 90-degree angle to the string, so it's trying to be pulled down in that sort of a direction. But the amount of force that's being pulled away is instead being pulled up because it can't go any further down, so equal opposite, and then instead goes sideways by that amount or something. So I've done the negating part. The speed down is now redirected. Okay. So how do I work out the 90-degree part? So we need to know if the rotation relative to the downwards direction or gravity. Okay. So I need to get the rotation to gravity, or down, which in this case is just 9.8. in the y to that. Okay. I feel like I've got this backwards. Would this break if I put it the other way around? Let's just keep it as it is, it works. So we need that angle. And then we need to say this angle minus that angle you do a weird thing, which is actually good in this case. So if I feel like I did this before without any ifs. Whatever. If the that thing is greater than 0, then we want to save out what the vector was before. Vector is this, which will have to be a new thing. I don't know if I'm going at all in the right direction with this. All I know is I've done this before, and it worked. That's what the vector is, that's what this thing is. We now need to do a secondary change. I mean, I could do this afterwards now. So vector is that. That has now done that to negate what it was. And then what it was going to be is now directed 90 degrees to the side, so if this is greater or less than, who knows which way around this is going to go, then we need to change the added thing of this. We just add this up, right? I think we just add that. So that plus that would be the total amount of force, apps. I think. Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. So we apps that. That's what vector is. Vector will then be a change to this at that angle and then we just do that again, but this time plus equals. I think that's backwards. Seemed to work for a moment there. I think it's at the top. Nope. What if I do this? Oh. So I've got launched to the side. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do a 180. No. Almost. I mean, sliding. Maybe I don't apply the full thing, maybe... I don't know, what if I just divide that by 2? Uh-huh. Why are you sliding up? Okay, so the first thing I need to know is where is 0? Again, every damn time I use this function, I always gotta ask, which way is what? So I noticed negative 180 should put 0 to the right. Whoa. And then it goes clockwise or anti-clockwise? I think it goes anti-clockwise around. And so this would be all the way down to there. So then I'm getting that number and then getting being able to the thing, so it shouldn't really matter which way around it is. It should be relative to that, so that would be the 0. If it was to one side or the other side, it would be positive or negative. So I think I just gotta do the negative 180. To any of that. No. Because that's then it go and turn everything sideways. Which is why it's usually this to that. So we'll flip that around. Am I lagging? Whatever. Did I break it? I don't know. Was it on? This to that. And maybe that fixed everything again? Yeah, I crashed again. Which made another thing go weird. Huh? What did I do? There we go. That looks like it's just going in the opposite direction. Wait. Wasn't there supposed to be a 90 around here somewhere? Where's my 90? Okay. How did I do this thing last time? Maybe I should just look up my old file. I mean, that feels like it sort of worked. It's feeling like it's working, and then it doesn't. You know what, let's just look up my old one. Where in the world would you be at? How would I find you? That's some time ago now. It was last year. It was Sim? You wouldn't have been called Ray Trace. It's before the Ray Trace. It was before Doom. Oh my god, this is a long time ago now, isn't it? How's this life? Was it a test? Did I call it physics? Did I call it something else? A visualizer? Doubt it. Did I put it in an offline area? No. It's not a game. I mean, it could be physics engine. 2D. Ah, here we are. What are you? Hey! That's the one I made before. This is how far I got last time I tried to make this. Yeah, that was my corner intersection thing. Yeah, that seems to work. I guess it helps when I actually visualize the vector lines. Yeah, because I could just offset it by 90 degrees. Yeah. Absolutely no clue how I did this anymore. Pop. Oh, the vector line when it pops through is like boing. Oh, so much fun. Anyway, what the world was the code for that one? I don't even know if I want to look at the code for this one. I don't even know if I'm going to find the code for this one. Who knows where it's at? Probably in a thing called physics, or collisions. Did I label it, or I just dumped it in here? I think I had two of them. Yeah, this is box A's update. Was in the update. No, I just set it as a global variable, didn't I? But then I stopped it from being on the other one. Oh god, I had the debug active. Oh wow, this is old. I didn't realize it was that long ago. Damn. Oh wow. Feels like just a couple of days ago I was working on this thing. Oh my god. I've only done the Doom project like twice since then. Just did the Doom project, then the Doom project again. Oh yeah, I did a number of other things that tried and failed, didn't I? Never figured out that other. No, this is rendering. Physics, there we are. Is this it here? So A is the mouse, origin is the box, we're getting the distance from one to the other. If distance is greater than the max distance of the rope thing, then we're getting the rotation from the origin to the whatever. Origin to A. So I've got this backwards as well. And then we get the change. And then we're just adding it on. But I'm plus adding on this one, I'm just equaling on the other one. Oh, okay. So I'm just overthinking it. Well, I mean, the whole sideways vectory thing is a thing, I'm just not sure how to use that as a thing. Ah, that's weird. So yeah. It's the origin to the mouse was what I was doing before, so... Oh, that's what that is. Origin to the mouse. Or the mid, as I call it. I feel like this is so much uglier than my other code. This seems so much harder to read. Whatever. And so I get the rotation from one to the other. I'm not doing the negative 80 thing. 180. No extra things, and just doing the change, which is the distance of 400, or the max dis. So I add that around the other way. Dis minus max dis, no. And, damn it. And yeah, I just plus equal it to the vector. Didn't I do that? It didn't work. Pretty sure I did. One. Stop. Yeah. Stop you before you crash. So what's the difference here? Maybe I'm doing something afterwards? Oh, I'm timesing by that, not dividing. Interesting. That's probably why it's going out of hand. Alright. Oh, I just feel like something's biting me. Well, now it's like a piece of bungee cord. The other one feels a lot more solid than this. So why is it like a bungee cord? What else did I do? So yeah, we do the dampening, and then we times it by, and then we add on gravity. Then we're just plussing the change, which is the rotation from the origin to the mouse, and by that amount, we're simply adding it on. Then we're updating the location and the rotation. Where am I updating the location? Just updating location. Okay. I remember something about half of gravity now and half of gravity later, but I don't seem to be doing that over here. Yeah. Browning, gravity, add the excess to the vector, vector to a location. Browning, gravity. It's so much harder to read for some reason. Add the excess, which is that, to the vector, and vector to location. Really? And that's what that wants to be. I don't understand. I am very confused. Did I do something wrong with rotations? Get rot from origin to A, and the rotation. I don't understand. It's the same stuff. If what? Let me just grab that. But and after that, we're just plussing up the location. Before that, we're just browning and gravity. So the origin is the vector. Wait, what? Oh. Oh, okay. In this one, I'm looking at where it's going to be. In the other one, I'm looking at only where it's at. That makes sense. Let's just copy you. Also, that wasn't hard. Nice to know. So... yeah. That's this. There we are. Nope. Object vector, object mesh mid. That is what origin is. Origin to the world. Origin to the world. What have I done wrong now? What? Uh-huh. Because if I add on the vector, then... Oh, God, I did a thing. Did I do a thing? Where'd the thing go? Back. I'm not doing anything with that, no. What? No. Yes. Distance? Distance is from origin. So from the vector plus the location will give me where it's going to be. If where it's going to be is greater than the distance of the string, then... Bloop. Was that a join or a message? What was that? Yeah. I posted a join. Feel free to ask questions if you want to know what's going on. The distance is greater than the piece of string, then I get the rotation from where it's going to be to where the mouse is, and I get the change if I was to move it closer. Oh, move it, whatever the change thing does. At that rotation, at that distance, that thing is nothing. And then we add the change to the vector. Yep. Why? Why do you fall out of existence? What did I break? Apparently distance is never maxed this? Have I broken something? Is vector not a thing? I mean, it's object vector, it's a 0, 1. We're just doing a math add thingy, so it's just adding the two vectors together. This is that. We've both got two indexes. Both exist. Origin should be a thing. Getting the distance. It's an array, two things. That's an array, two things. Distance should be a thing. So that should be a thing. This should be a thing. And that is most definitely a thing. Which one of you are broken? I've got another. Second. What? Why are you a 3? Because vector could have an extra index. 3D stuff, okay. So that way around should work. There we go. Now it's not like a rubber band. Okay, I still don't have that extra force I feel like I should have, so let's try to add that. At least one up from what I did before. So, if I get the vector that it would have had, and I move that in 90 degrees in the right direction, does that now feel more natural? What's broke? Rotate is not a thing. That'd be from origin to down. Whoa. Yep. So that seems to be 90 degrees off where it should be, so can I just say plus 90? Minus 90. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna figure out these damn rotations again. So, we should have to say minus 180 to have it go from 0 to 360. Bloop. Yep. I'd be more happy if gravity worked. Yeah, it doesn't want to spin the other way. Well, its force is being put in the wrong direction, so maybe that's not a negative, positive. That just gets leaped out to the side. Nope. Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just delete everything and try again. Go away. Go away. Okay. We're just back to the basic one. Which feels like it's moving through a heavy fluid. Viscous fluid. No, make it all myself from scratch. I mean, I wouldn't really be making stuff if I was using somebody else's stuff. Is there something else going on here? What happens if I remove the browning effect? Oh, that feels better. Oh, okay. So maybe everything's actually perfectly fine, it was just that thing. Ah, you know what? That actually looks pretty fine. Huh. Okay, so I must just be overcomplicating things again. Let's add like an extra 9 to that. Or like an 8. I don't know. I feel like an 8. Wait. But how were you slowing down? Shouldn't you just be going forever if I don't have that effect? Why does it get lower? Weird. Science may never know. Oh, whatever. So there's no need to improve on something that worked perfectly fine as it did anyway. Okay. Well, that was a fun thing. Serves absolutely no purpose. So... well, that was weird. It's like it sticks to the edge. Well, I mean, that's what that does. Anyway, what am I doing? So, I don't know. So now we're going to get the second object in a way that this one can interact with, but I don't want it in a way where the second object is static. I think I'm just going to skip over the step where I just have it working for one object, and have the other object static, and just have both objects dynamically interact. No. Because I should be able to... No. Maybe. I don't know. No. A static object is basically the same as an object with infinite mass or something. Just really, really, really heavy. Doesn't need to be infinite. So... I should be able to just work out all the calculations with that, but I'm well overthinking things now, so I'm not sure if I'm any good. So, whatever. I guess you suck. So, what am I doing? If I have a triangle that's further over that side, so the origin point's over here, and then that is hitting something. Oh, it's the pivoty thing! So instead of thinking it's all relative. Okay. So the origin point would be pivoting around the collision thing by how much? Leverage. Okay, it's probably something to do with leverage. That thing that I mentioned for the first time today in all the many weeks I've been spending doing this stuff. So... this is a lever. This wants to move down at that location because center of the mass, but it can't because this part is on there. So the whole thing becomes like a level? So the further away from the intersection point the center of mass is the same as like the further away or the longer the lever you have is. So how does that translate into rotation? I mean, this is the same as saying I'm pushing with a force up on that point. So the same thing could be used for all things, not just static flat ground. Yeah, how do you translate into rotation? That is the question. It's got nothing to do with left or right. Gravity, it's a force pushing up. So if I had a force pushing up, how much of a rotation would I want to apply on the origin? Which is the same as this going down, except it's pivoting around the pivot point. But it would be, that's only globally. It's still rotating around its origin point by the same amount. It's just in the space, it's locked to that location. So it just seems like it's pivoting around this point, but the whole object is pivoting around its origin point. So that would give me the angle. Okay. No. What? So no, nothing to do with angle. How much of the energy is being converted into torque? That's the question. The energy pushing up on it would be gravity. And gravity is entirely being turned into rotational energy. Not caring about wind resistance and junk. Don't have any of that. So, what does one gravity turn into in torque? And how much over time? That would depend on mass and stuff. So we just got a mass of 1. Okay. So I imagine it's got something to do with the distance to there, 90 degrees from the force. That's my lever, or whatever. So what is the rotation? Could it be if I was, do I just simply like at that distance, if I draw a line that is vector up, like the amount of force upwards, so 9.8 or whatever, I don't know, let's say that was all the way up here, so if I did that, and then just measured that angle, would that be it? Is that how much that would have rotated? Or at that distance, is it a circle of that? Yeah. As I said, it's a point of view. So this would be the same. This be... that sucked. Nope. So this hitting the floor and falling down would be the same as saying the floor was moving up. And it was it was pinned in the world at that location. So yeah. Like it's trying to move this part of the triangle, I keep saying rock? Whatever. This part of it up by the same force as these. So if I just did a 90-degree thing to that, work out what... But the question is it rotation? Is it the distance around a circle? Or is it up and then a circle? I feel like it's around a circle. No. Is it? I just do one or the other and see what seems right. Okay. It's getting early now. It's 4 in the morning. I want to go to the shops, get a full of water. So, I don't know. I think I might go now and do more on this tomorrow. But I feel like I'm onto something. So, if this was to drop down and I wanted to rotate around, it would be this amount of rotation to a curve, let's say. I feel like that's going to be right. That's how much of a rotation it's going to have. So that's going to be added to the vector of torque. And then the distance that is from here is how much this is going to go down. No, hang on. It's just going to rotate up. And how do I add the downwards rotation? Downwards force. Okay. So I'm just assuming all of the force is being put into rotation. So if you just slapped it and then stopped, you didn't keep it. The objects didn't move closer together. Then the rotation would be that much. But where does the energy come from that moves it down? Maybe I just go step by step. So it hits it. The rest of the energy... I gotta do the advanced collision thing still. I forgot about that. So I gotta find out the exact location of the intersection, the distance it had to travel to get to that intersection location, and then I'd have to divide the energy by that, because it didn't move the full amount, and then the remainder of the energy is... what? I mean, it's the equal and opposite thing, so I guess the remainder of the energy is just ignored. The amount of energy it used is then reflected back. No, the remainder of the energy that was left over is reflected back at it. And that's how much force I have to put into the rotation and whatever. And then that's it. That's the end of the frame. Then the next frame, it's going to use that torque to... Oh, then I got to get rotation collisions like that. And that's a whole other problem. How much of the force for the intersection is from translation and how much is it from rotation? Because a rotation one, it will try to pivot around the point. But a location one will try to make it rotate. But because it's the... I don't know. I guess I'd have to add half the like an equal amount of rotation and location. Okay, that goes back to the advanced basic collisions. Finding out the correct intersection point in time and space. So, yeah. I feel like that needs to be some sort of a weird curve. Because it's going to be rotating and moving down, which is going to make it a weirder sort of a curve. And I've got to figure out where that curve intersects with another thing's curve. But curves are just for the points, but then what if I want the whole edge? Anyway, so it goes. But I'm making progress. I didn't think of that stuff last time, I don't think. I was doing something different last time. Well, anyway. I'm gonna go now. Woo! Okay, thanks, bye.